Prani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukh Bhag Bhavet. With this prayer, I, Achal Sharma from Department of PDP, welcome senior members of management from Graphic Era deemed to be university. I welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. J. Kumar Sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Jyoti Chhabra Ma'am, Registrar Captain Himanshu Dhulia Sir, Directors and Deans of both campuses, Heads of Departments, Faculty members, and dear students, to the 7th lecture on youth and national security as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. As we all know that we have gathered here to celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and so far 6 sessions have been conducted by various eminent speakers from different walks of life. Today, we all are overwhelmed at how fortunate we are to have Lieutenant General VK Chaturvedi, Sir PVSM, AVSM, SM with us. Now, I welcome Mr. Lalit Singh, Head of Department PTP, Graphic Era Hill University, Bhimtal Campus, to introduce our keynote speaker for the day.
Thank you, Achal. Good afternoon, everyone.
Welcome, sir.
Lieutenant General VK Chaturvedi is an alumnus of the National Defence Academy and Indian Military Academy. He was commissioned into the Regiment of Artillery on 13th June 1971. Immediately on commissioning and after undergoing a curtailed young officers course, he was posted to 99th Field Regiment in the Eastern Sector. He fought the 1971 Indo-Pak War and was awarded the Sena Medal for gallantry. He commanded 99 Field Regiment Sylhet during Operation Rakshak in J&K and Artillery Brigade in strike course during Operation Parakram in deserts. He accomplished himself well on all important courses, to include Long Gunnery Course, Defence Services Staff College, Senior Command Course, Higher Defence Management Course, and the most prestigious National Defence College course. He has held all the coveted staff and command assignments to include GSO2 at Military Operations Directorate, Colonel Administration of a Division in the Deserts, Director at Weapons and Equipment Directorate in Army Headquarters, Brigadier Administration of the then largest corps of the Army, J&K, Additional Director General, Operation and Training of Artillery, where he spearheaded the artillery modernization. He was thereafter the Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor of the School of Artillery and finally was Director General, Manpower Planning and Personal Services at Army Headquarters. General Chaturvedi was awarded the Param Vishisht Seva Medal (PVSM) in 2011 for distinguished services of highest order by the President of India, the Ati Vishisht Seva Medal (AVSM) for distinguished services of exceptional order by the President of India in 2007, and the Sena Medal Gallantry during the 1971 war. He was also given commendation by the Chief of Army Staff and Army Commander on 2 occasions. Lieutenant Chaturvedi is Master of Philosophy, MPhil from Madras University in Strategic Studies and International Affairs, Master of Science from Madras University in Defence Studies, and Master of Management Studies from Osmania University. General Chaturvedi also holds a postgraduate diploma in Business Management from Pune University. Post-retirement, he was Advisor Defence Banking with the State Bank of India, SBI Life, for 5 years from June 2011 to 2016. Presently, he is consultant in defence matters and guest lecturer at premium institutes like Indian Institute of Science, Delhi University, South Asia Studies Centre, JNU, Antarrashtriya Sahyog Parishad, and many other institutions and colleges in the country. General Chaturvedi takes keen interest in personal and professional issues concerning military personnel. He handled the 6th CPC and has been responsible for initiating a number of initiatives for welfare of all ranks. We await eagerly to listen to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Lalit. Professor Dr. Jitendra Kumar, the Vice Chancellor, Graphic Era Hill University, members of the faculty.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Request you to can you switch on your camera?
Camera is, I think camera is there. It's
now it is okay, sir.
Now it's okay. No, it's gone.
On, sir.
Is okay now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, now it's okay.
Thank you, Professor Lalit Singh. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Jitendra Kumar, members of the faculty, my colleagues from Youth for Nation, and the most important, Bharat ke Bhavish, the ignited minds, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me today to be amongst you, talking to you on a subject which is dear to each one of us. National security and youth. And speaking to the people of a state where each family has a soldier. So this is something which is really marvelous for me. ये देवों की भूमि में आज आप सबसे बातचीत करने में बड़ा मुझे गौरव हासिल हुआ है और मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है. Topic for today's discussion, which is national security and youth. Till now, we have always talked on subject international affairs, international relations, national security, challenges of national security. But why the national security is linked to youth? This is a very interesting thing because our youth are the future. हमारे भारत के भविष्य के कर्णधार हैं. And today, my dear students, India is a very young country. 67% of our population today is below 35 years of age. This is part of the Amrit Mahotsav. We have completed in the 75th year of our independence, and in 2047, we'll be celebrating the centenary of our independence. These 25 years, which our Prime Minister has called the Amrit Kal, is extremely important. This is the place where we are a young country. Our youth is totally bubbling with energy, vibrant, and wanting to achieve something. We can do a lot for our nation. How can we help? That is what is today the topic of discussion. What I'll say, right from the times immemorial, Vedic Kal, Adi Kal se aap le lijiye, in our country, our Bharat, youth has always played a very, very major role. You take from Prabhu Maryada Purushottam, Shri Ram, Shri Krishna, Adi Shankaracharya, Vivekanand, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Mangal Pandey, Shahid Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Sukhdev, Chandrasekhar Azad, Rani Jhansi, Ahilyabai Holkar, Ma Chenamma. They were all young in 20s and 30s, and they brought glory to the country. They ensured that Bharat ka सम्मान हमेशा शिखर पर रहा, हमेशा ऊंचा रहा. So that's what the role of youth for any nation is, and we need to ensure that it continues like this. National security, my dear students, is very different from what it used to be in the earlier ancient period. In the ancient times, the wars were fought within certain boundaries, within certain ethics and rules and regulations. Today, our security is engulfed in a scenario where the threat of war is looming large. Anytime on a small thing, it can lead or escalate to something much bigger. And when the war breaks out, the boundaries are unlimited. There are very little ethics. Geneva Convention is there, but it is for those who believe in ethics and those who believe in rule of law. Once, I can give you the example of 1971. Pakistan did everything inhuman against humanity, committed the unprecedented atrocities on the innocent children, our sisters and brothers, our elders of Bangladesh. They were all against humanity, against all rules and ethics. So that is what I am conveying, that there are no boundaries today as far as national security is concerned. Also, the dimensions of national security are also innumerable. Today, it could be diplomatic, it could be political, it could be military, it could be economic, it could be food security, it could be water, energy, cyber security, maritime security, anything. So it encompasses a total comprehensive national power. So the security of nation, which is primarily of two types, external and internal, does not remain only the domain of the armed forces. The security of the nation is today, every Indian is responsible for the security of the country. And also he contributes in nation building, he contributes towards the security of the nation. A man who's driving a rickshaw and ensures that we reach our destination, he also contributes to the national economy and national security. When you are economically strong, you do get strength in your national security. Similarly, the old, I can quote today because we are talking to a very enlightened lot. In the 50s, the then Prime Minister of our country, when we had just attained our independence, when a proposal was put up by the Army Chief, then Army Chief Field Marshal Karappa, for modernization and increasing the potential of the armed forces, the curt reply was, India is a peaceful country. We do not need armed forces, our police can do. So that one blunder has cost us so dearly in 1962. Our armed forces faced a humiliating defeat. Though I'll say on personal front, as far as the bravery of our soldiers is concerned, they even excelled under those unprecedented hardship and inhospitable terrain. Ill-equipped armed forces did wonders for our nation. The famous Battle of Rezangla Elkot, Kumaon Regiment, the center is in Uttarakhand, Ranikhet, 13 Kumaon Charlie Company. At Rezangla, 120 men. They were attacked by the Chinese, 13 to 1400 people in 5 to 6 waves. And this company, led by Major Setan Singh, and those braves of that company did not let the Chinese get hold of this company, despite 113 of them laying down their life for the country, and 7 those who remained were also not in a fit condition to fight. They were all disabled or wounded. So that's the bravery of our Indians. It is not from today, it is from time immemorial. Our countrymen, we are proud of those. They give their ultimate for the defense of the country, and they do not hesitate even once. I have yet to see any ma, any patni, any bachi, any bete, when the बलिदानियों की जो लास्ट राइट्स के लिए जब उनकी शरीर आता है, तो किसी ने आज तक नहीं कहा कि उसको दुख है. उन सबको उसके इस बलिदान पे हमेशा गर्व हुआ है, और यही भारत की परंपरा है. This is what is the greatest asset of our country. And they were all young people. They are all 20-30 years old. Similarly, you take 62, what I was talking about. In 47, when India attained the independence, Most of us do not know the first two chiefs of our Indian Army, and so was for the Navy and Air Force, were Britishers. Sir Robert Lockhart was the first one, and Sir General Butcher was the second. When we were fighting war, trying to dislodge those Kavailis in J&K, we were being led by the generals from the British Army. And can you believe the man who was receiving the orders was sitting in UK, General Auchinleck was ordering them. So both the countries, how could we have at least, I do not think that such a thing should have ever happened. We should have on 15th August 1947 ensured that we had a Chief of Army Staff, the Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Army, who was an Indian. Similarly, for the Governor General, why should Viceroy Lord Mountbatten should have continued beyond 15th August 1947? C. Rajagopalachari could have been appointed on 15th August 1947. These were those blunders which have, even today, India is paying for it. Our going to UN for resolution of J&K issue was the biggest. It was a unconditional accession by Maharaja Hari Singh to India. We should have accepted it and provided every support and help to J&K to ensure that they survive as a part of Indian nation. This problem would have never arisen and it wouldn't have continued till so late. So these were those mistakes which we are paying for it even today. A strong armed forces, ladies and gentlemen, is a guarantee for peace. Armed forces are not meant for war or for fighting, but they are meant to avoid war, to prevent war. And that's the role of armed forces. And you can only be preventing these war and hostile activities if you are strong. You can prevent and any type of, you take example of USA. All area, neighborhood, everything is peaceful. They want to create a problem in Middle East or something, it is done at their discretion. So our aim should be always to remain militarily strong, and that's and economically strong, both these things, and thereafter everything will follow. I must quote here that there is a little semblance or belief that we feel that we achieved our independence through non-violence. But I have my very serious doubts on it. Netaji Subhash Bose, I must mention here, born in a very well-to-do family, got extremely good education, both in Cuttack as well as in Calcutta and thereafter in Cambridge in UK. Got through in the Imperial Civil Services, ICS of those times. Joined for a few days, and then having seen what the Britishers did in Jallianwala Bagh in 1919, he decided to leave the ICS and join the freedom struggle. And that's why he felt that freedom cannot come so easily. He raised Indian National Army, Azad Hind Fauj. 1943, in those inhospitable, rugged terrain, extreme weather conditions of the Northeast, where even today moving is not so easy, despite the communication system has been much improved. He was able to raise a force of 60,000 Indians who were prepared to do everything for the nation. And what he was, the motivation was nothing. What he could give them, the famous slogan of Netaji, "Tum mujhe khoon do, main tumhe azadi dunga," is even today makes us boil with enthusiasm for the nation. That brought everybody together. He raised 60,000, out of which 26,000 of them gave their ultimate for the nation. He was such a visionary that in those years, 1943, he raised a Mahila battalion, Rani Lakshmi Bai Regiment. Captain Lakshmi Sehgal commanding that battalion, which we introduced the ladies into the armed forces in 1991 only. But that is the vision of that man. He understood that it has to be everybody, and everybody must fight for the nation. Thereafter, the mutinies. One was the naval mutiny, the famous naval, then army mutiny in Jabalpur, that put the fear of death in the Britishers. They had only 40,000 people in the Indian subcontinent. They realized that they cannot, if the armed forces go against them, they cannot sustain a day in India. And all these things have hastened and speeded up the independence. Though, of course, the role of Mahatma Gandhi and other national leaders of that time cannot be undermined. They also played a role, but it was something which was both non-violence as well as some semblance of, I'll say, strength, and showing that you cannot continue to stay in India and govern us. We will be governed by our own people. So that is the strength of the people. That is the strength of the youngsters. And who were part of that struggle was all young, right from Mangal Pandey onwards. You can take, everybody was in the 20s and 30s. Asafullah Khan, Batukeshwar Dutt, Ram Prasad Bismil, Chandrasekhar Azad, Shahid Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Sukhdev. They were all in 20s and 30s, and they gave their everything for the nation. So we need to remember them. We need to be motivated by their acts. We must know what they did for the country and how they sacrificed their everything for the sake of the country, for making us independent today. Swami Vivekananda, the intellectual capital. I'll just say 1893 at Chicago. He was 30 years old when he addressed the Dharm Sansad, the Parliament of Religion, in Chicago. My dear brothers and sisters from America, the famous address which he gave at that point of time, the world was following him thereafter. He was a man who spoke wisdom, who spoke sense, who talked of humanity, who talked about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, who talked about every Indian, every human being is a brother or sister. So that is what we have given. Swami Vivekananda ji will always remain immortal. Even today, his teachings, his writings have a great meaning. I said, Maryada Purushottam Ram set the rules for governance, set the rules how to fight a war. So was Bhagwan Shri Krishna. And thereafter, from the olden times, Arjun, you take Adi Shankaracharya, Ram Krishna Paramhans, everyone, Kautilya, Ashoka, all these people have done great service to ensure that India remains united. Their contribution to the country cannot be ever undermined. Certain things which our Honorable Prime Minister also spoke on the NCC parade day on 28th January last month. राष्ट्र प्रेम से बड़ा प्रेम कोई नहीं है. It's a fact, and this feeling must come in each and every Indian. And I call upon all the dear students here that this must be the same thing, that Rashtra Prem, राष्ट्र का हित, whatever is in national interest, we are all together. राष्ट्र की सेवा, my NDA, I can't forget that, service before self, seva paramo dharma. That's our motto in NDA, National Defense Academy. So these are the things. राष्ट्र का सम्मान और राष्ट्र की भक्ति से कोई बड़ा ना तो सम्मान है ना भक्ति है. कुछ incidents I can cite. 2016 the JNU incident बहुत पीड़ादायक था. It pains me even today when I talk about it. भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे. It cannot be said by anybody who's an Indian. And my dear children, you have a role to ensure that it does not get repeated again. It doesn't recur. It's an onerous responsibility. We are all together working for the nation, and we will continue to ensure that भारत की किसी भी संप्रभुता अखंडता को कोई भी हानि नहीं पहुंचा सकता. Corona management. Our nation, despite being deficient of medical facilities, doctors, nurses, despite all these shortcomings, we did extremely well to provide the medical help and also to come out of it. By and large, we are now over the hump with excellence. I was in one regarding the vaccine program. I think our vaccination program is something to be proud of. Excellent to say the least. We have done in military-like manner with total record keeping and everything. In almost 170 crores of people have been vaccinated today. Last year, during April end, I was also that time going through my isolation because of Corona. I have also attended a global meet and I was one of the speakers there. Everyone was criticizing our country that time. You couldn't do it. There were bodies floating. The hospitals were full. Oxygen was not there. And vaccination also they were criticizing. We had done 5 crores that day. I said that what is happening in Europe, nobody talks about it. Everybody talks about, this is a narrative, talks about India. Italy was worse than us. Brazil was equally bad. Even UK with such state of the art, their national health NHS system doing extremely well. Despite that, they had problems. France was bad. And that day we had completed 5 crores. I said we have done 5 crores vaccination, which is equal to the population of UK. And you all still say that India is bad. Today, we have done 170 crores 5 times the population of United States of America. That's our, and it is all free, exceptionally well done by our doctors, our nurses, our medical staff. Their sacrifices of the support staff, the corona warriors, the doctors and nurses is exemplary. I will accept few examples, but they are minimal. By and large, everybody rose to the occasion and they faced it with courage and commitment. So thereafter, we have to be proud. We must take, even today, when some people come on the television and talk ill of the nation, one feels extremely, when there is a राष्ट्र के सम्मान की बात है, तो भारत का हर भारतवासी, every Indian must talk in one sentence and together, एक तरह की आवाज में, एक आवाज में हम उन सबको भारत के सम्मान की बात करेंगे. Let nobody ever talk ill of which affects our सम्मान. We can discuss things for improvement. We can discuss things how to do well, how to do in the correct manner. All those things are okay. But let nobody criticize us for something which we should be proud of. There is a narrative. Even today, I can vouch for it. A small thing. You can talk about Galwan, the way Chinese are dealing. Let everybody say that Chinese are this COVID. We must say this is a Chinese virus. We have started calling. Some people do call. We must make China responsible for spreading it and putting the complete humanity in a great danger. Balakot strike is another example of decisive leadership and belief and trust in the armed forces. It was a very difficult decision, let me tell you, my dear children. It was not an easy decision. The war could have broken out. Those 20 aircraft which went to bombard that terrorist camp at Balakot, 70 kilometers inside Pakistan, could have been, some of them could have been blown off by the air defense of Pakistan. To take such a decision was only a strong and decisive leader can take. I have all praise for our Prime Minister who could take that decision. It was equal to what happened in Entebbe in Uganda in 1976. I'll give you this comparison because it is important. The Ugandan people had hijacked one of the aircraft in which 102 Jews of Israel were there, and they were wanting that we will release them only when you release 45 Palestinian prisoners which were in Israel custody. 5-6 days the negotiation continued, and the government of Israel was at the almost on the bridge of giving acceptance to the demands of these people, when their defense minister Aaron Paris said, no, we will not succumb to this, because if we succumb today, there'll be no end to it. Tomorrow there'll be something, day after something, it'll continue. We will take action. And they organized a raid. A company strength went, got all those 102 Jews, their brothers, released, destroyed 60 to 70% of the Ugandan Air Force, and they lost their commander of that commando force. That was the only loss of Israel. But that brought Israel in the Committee of the Nations of the World, gave them a flip that here is a strong nation which knows how to take strong decisions. And same thing happened after Balakot. The world today knows that India is not a weak country. They can take hard decisions, they can take strong measures, and they have to be treated with respect. Our impression amongst the world, everybody today knows that how many steps we have climbed up. Today, when India talks, the world listens. The world wants to collaborate, do exercises with India today. In Quad, it is India which is being sought after by America, Japan, and Australia. In every thing where Asian or South Asians are involved, India is trusted much more than our neighbor on the northern front. Nobody believes them. Today, even if China says that I have vaccinated 170 crores or 200 crores, nobody believes, because they know that anything that China says is false. Therefore, these are the राष्ट्र के सम्मान, राष्ट्र के लीडरशिप के जो कि डिसाइसिव देश के हित में काम कर रही हो, उसको हमने सम्मान देना चाहिए, एक स्वर में बोलना चाहिए और उनका साथ देना चाहिए. NRC, Register of Citizens, National Register of Citizenship, is an extremely important issue, but I see opposition to it. Don't you do stock taking of your own house? What do I have in my house? It is something like that. We must know what is there in our nation, in our country, in our Bharat, who all are our citizens. And it's a national security issue. It must be linked to. It is not for anything. The rest are all secondary, but it's a national security issue. The NRC must be completed, must be done, may take 2 years, but we must go ahead. And every right-thinking Indian must support it. We cannot ever permit anybody who's not an Indian to stay in India without legitimate documents. National symbols, राष्ट्रीय ध्वज है, राष्ट्रीय समर स्मारक है, नेशनल वॉर मेमोरियल, राष्ट्रगान है. We see the intellectual lot today has gone worse up. They feel ki, why should you stand? Why should you pay respect to the National War Memorial? Number of them try to justify the disrespect which some people have done. There can be no two ways. These three things have to be respected, have to be honored. Everybody must take pride in standing for those 52 seconds when the national anthem is sung. Similarly, when the national flag is unfurled, we must all stand. And those who can salute must salute. So these are things where your identity is seen, your love for your country is seen. These are not symbolism, they are actual. People appreciate you only when you show solidarity with these symbols. Rights versus duties. दायित्व और कर्तव्य और अधिकार. The time has come when our constitutional makers were writing our constitution. I think that point of time, they had so much trust in the people of India, in the generation of India, the next generation, that they felt that every Indian will do its duty to the nation or to the society, to the parivar and to others. But somewhere we have failed. And therefore, the time has come that दायित्व जरूर अब spell out होने चाहिए. Our duties must be spelled out and we should be entitled to our fundamental rights when we carry out our duties. हमारे दायित्वों का, what President Kennedy said, do not ask what the country can do. Always say what you can do for the country. And that is what should be the spirit of every Indian today. And our youth today has to be the leaders in this, to propagate, to make people aware and to motivate them to do this. What you can do for the nation, that should be the priority. Modernity versus tradition. आधुनिकता और परंपराएं. आधुनिकता, dear students, is of brain, is of मस्तिष्क, आपके ज्ञान की है, wisdom की है. You should make your capable, educate yourself, read, so that you are able to discuss and debate with the best in the world on the topics of cyber security, nanotechnology, of satellite communication, on those important issues. But when it comes to traditions, हमारी परंपराएं, ये हमारी अपनी हैं, हमारी पहचान है. And that is where we must hold them very important to our hearts. हमारे रीत रिवाज, हमारे तीज त्योहार, हमारा पहनावा, हमारा खान पान, हमारे देवी देवता, हमारे पूजा की पद्धत, हमारी भाषा, ये सब हमारी अपनी है. और जहां भी हम रहें, इस सब में हमने गर्व करना है और इसको अपनाना है. तभी भारत को, भारत की वो जो एक पायदान है, शिखर है, वो मिलेगा. भारत विश्व गुरु तभी बनेगा. ये चीजें हमने दिखानी है कि किस तरह से हम प्राइड लेते हैं. अगर होली दिवाली हम आज लोग मनाते हैं, लोगों में इतना, अब इंग्लैंड में, यूएसए में लोग कलेक्ट होके अपने आप मनाते हैं, दिखाते हैं. अब ये देखिए, व्हाइट हाउस में भी दिवाली पे दिए जलने लगे. ये चीजें तभी होंगी जब आप इसमें गर्व करेंगे कि ये मेरा है, मेरी पहचान है और इस पहचान को मैं कभी नहीं छोड़ूंगा. भारत ज्ञानवीरों की धरती है. आप कौटिल्य ले लीजिए, मैत्री, गार्गी, पाणिनि, सुश्रुत, डॉक्टर एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम, डॉक्टर सीवी रमन और अनंत. ज्ञानवीर भारत में पैदा हुए हैं और वेद, पुराण, तमाम ये ऐसे ग्रंथ लिखे गए हैं जिनको लोग जानते भी नहीं हैं। जब आप इसकी किसी भी चीज की अगर तह में और नींव पर जाएंगे तो आपको मालूम पड़ेगा कि इसकी शुरुआत भारत में ही हुई है। ये बड़ी एक समझ में नहीं आता ये कैसे हो गया कि हमने जो चीज दी वही हम भूल गए। तो इसको दोबारा से आपने ज्ञानों की जो एक अलग हमारे घरों में परंपराएं हैं उनको जरूर हासिल करना है, ज्ञान हासिल करना है और उसके पूरे विश्व में अपना नाम इसमें रोशन करना है। भारत दानवीरों की दान करने में आज भी आप देख लीजिए, आपको अपील करनी पड़ती है, प्रधानमंत्री एक चीज की अपील करते हैं, फिर कोई दानवीरों की कमी नहीं होती। जिसके पास 100 रुपए भी होंगे वो 100 रुपए दे देता है। और ये राजा हरिश्चंद्र के टाइम से, एकलव्य के टाइम से, कर्ण के टाइम से, दधीच के टाइम से चली आ रही है। तो लेट अस इंश्योर दैट इट कंटिन्यूज। यस, दूसरों के लिए यू मस्ट अर्न एंड मेक वेल्थ, but when you have enough more than your requirement, you must and should give to the society, give to others, so that everyone comes to your standard. That is the aim of every Indian. भारत शूरवीरों की धरती है और ये आज से नहीं, दिस इज फ्रॉम वैदिक काल, जो मैंने आज काफी नाम आपको ऑलरेडी बताए हैं। भारत में कभी भी किसी ने देश की संप्रभुता और अखंडता की रक्षा करने के लिए अपने बलिदान करने में कभी संकोच नहीं किया, कभी एक मिनट भी उसने सोचा नहीं कि ये ऐसे शूरवीरों की धरती है जिन्होंने, आप कुछ में सोमनाथ शर्मा, मेजर शैतान सिंह, 71 में अरुण क्षेत्रपाल, when he was asked, when his tank was hit, he was asked to abandon the tank and come out of it. He said, no sir, my tank is still firing, I'll get those. He used a word which I don't want to, but he said in that josh, and he ultimately destroyed 4 Pakistanis tanks which are better than his Centurions. Then you take Vikram Batra, who said कि माँ मैं या तो तिरंगा लहरा के आऊंगा या तिरंगा में लिपट कर आऊंगा। These are things which can only an Indian talk. Captain Manoj Pandey, who said कि अगर मैं ध्येय की पहुंचने में अगर मौत भी मेरे सामने आएगी तो मैं मौत से भी लड़ जाऊंगा। I'll achieve my aim. These are those people, and they are innumerable. Not only these, I have only quoted. So this is Bharat. This is Bharat ka yuva. ये सब, they were all yuva, 23 years old. Arun Khetrawal was 21 years old. Vikram Batra was 24 years old. So this is the contribution of our yuva, and that is what I want each one of you to really come up. जो भरा नहीं है भावों से, जिसमें बहती रसदार नहीं, वह हृदय नहीं है, पत्थर है जिसमें स्वदेश का प्यार नहीं। These are very सनेही जी की कविता है, and let us follow these things. I have talked about some blunders already, so I will not go into them again. But must remember that 1947 is actually, as per me, is not independence of India, it is partition of India, which was done on religion and ground, and it was incorrect. That was the first blunder that we accepted. It shouldn't have happened. Stable government is the need of the hour. Stable government can provide not only the stability, can talk to the world with strength, also ensure that India develops, the armed forces develop, the economy develop, the diplomacy is strong, and every field, the power, energy, food, everywhere we prosper. We need strong, decisive leaders all across. The chief minister, the prime minister, those who can give everything to the nation. We do not need the people, those who, after enjoying 5 years of the satta, they leave that party to enjoy another party now. Those people, you all understand, I don't want to name them here, but those are the people who need to be kicked. And then we must ensure that our vote has a power to ensure that they do not come back again. The lessons must go out. Exercise your vote. Every one of you need to vote and vote for the right man and not on any of these things which I said. एक अकेला थक जाएगा, साथी हाथ बढ़ाना, और इसलिए I want each one of you to be together, work as a team, build a new Bharat, which will only be at the top of the world. We have to show the world what our intellectual capabilities are. Together, we stand and we will move in towards the direction of progress. Dharma और अधर्म के बारे में एक बार, Dharma is not religion. My dear student, Dharma is what is right and adharma is what is wrong. If you see something which is not happening as per ethics, as per the societal norms, or as per what human beings think that is correct, you must raise your voice. That famous saying during Mahabharata, समर शेष है नहीं पाप का, भागी केवल व्याध, जो तटस्थ हैं इतिहास लिखेगा उनके भी अपराध. Don't be neutral. Speak your mind out when you see something incorrect happening. Unity in diversity, vividhata mein ekta, is our very great strength. And let this not be ever damaged or ever tampered with. In Chachen, you will remember Hanuman Thampa, that man who was in that avalanche, 10 feet of snow for 10 days. That man continued to breathe because the CEO who was from Tamil Nadu was also sitting there waiting to get him out and taking all action to get him out. And he was alive when he was got out. So this is our strength. Hanuman Thampa from Arunachal and this commanding officer from Tamil Nadu. This is must be ensured that nobody tampers with it. We remain together. This diversity is our great strength. Vasudev Kutumbakam is Vasudha pe jo bhi rehta hai wo sab hamare parivar ke hain. And India has always believed. India has never attacked the country, but we are also, we can let the message go that we will not let anybody tamper with our integrity and sovereignty of our borders. If they do, they'll get what they deserve to be given. उठो धरा के वीर सपूतों, पुनः नया निर्माण करो, जन जन के जीवन में फिर नव स्फूर्त नव प्राण भरो. This is my appeal to you, the youth of the country, the youth of Graphic Era, Hill University. देश से है प्यार तो हर पल ये कहना चाहिए, मैं रहूं या ना रहूं, भारत ये रहना चाहिए. I thank Professor Dr. Jitendra Kumar, the Vice Chancellor, the members of the faculty for giving me this opportunity to talk on such an important issue, national security and the youth, to my dear children who are the future of tomorrow. Bharat ke कर्णधार हैं ये, and I have no doubt that they will take India to the pinnacle of glory. भारत विश्व गुरु बनेगा, हमारे कालखंड में बनेगा और शताब्दी वर्ष के पहले बनेगा. This is what I appeal to each and every one of you, my dear children. कल वसंत पंचमी है, सरस्वती जी की पूजा है. May Goddess Saraswati bless you all, give you a lot of ज्ञान and strength to stand up for what is right and for our dear Bharat. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Vande Mataram. I am open to questions, sir.
kindly unmute yourself.
Thank you so very much, sir, for enlightening us with your valuable ideas and vast knowledge. Now, I request the esteemed guests if they have any question in mind, so they may ask, sir.
सर आपका माइक ना अनम्यूटेड नहीं है सर.
Okay, it seems to me that people are waiting for someone to initiate, break the ice in while he's asking question. सबसे पहले, sir, I don't know how should I thank you. I mean, I just fail in my words, to pay my tributes and pay my thanks to you. Actually, आपने इतना energize किया है आपने, and you spoke those wonderful words and gave the first-hand information, I think, which many people have no idea about.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Yes, the way you presented the facts and आपने वो stories बताई जो I think most of us do not know about, that was really sort of I'll use the word enthralling, क्योंकि वो एक जो लोग जाबाज जो लोग होते हैं और जाबाजी का जो आपने वर्णन किया है, and that too, I mean, sort of first-hand information, I greatly appreciate, and this was truly befitting, I think, for the students and for the youth. और मुझे ये लगता है कि जिन लोगों ने आज आपका लेक्चर मिस किया है, वो लोग जो है बड़े अनफॉर्चुनेट रहे होंगे आज के दिन के लिए कि उन्होंने आपका लेक्चर नहीं सुना.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
This is truly, और मैं तो इनफैक्ट हमारे हिमांशु धुलिया जी जो हैं, जो हमारे रजिस्ट्रार साहब हैं, I mean, I am equally grateful to him actually, वो हर बार हमारे लिए हर हफ्ते एक ऐसे व्यक्ति को, एक ऐसी पर्सनैलिटी को लेकर आते हैं कि जिनकी बात सुन के हम लोग भोर विभूत हो जाते हैं. I mean, well, I'm speaking about my heart actually. It is very true, in fact. And thank you so much, that you agreed to, in fact, to speak to all people.
Thank you very much, sir.
It was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, sir, I mean, you spoke about this, young people, and who are definitely, they are innovators, they are creators, they are builders, and are leaders of the future also, I mean, you spoke that so vividly. But you see, they can transform the future only if they have skills, they have health, they have decision making and real choices in life. That is again very important, and keeping in mind that I mean, India is the biggest, I think, the youthful country, which has a number of the youth in the world, in terms of that, you see, it's the biggest in sense. You mentioned about the NCC. Well, I know that this is an NCC, it is mandatorily adopted in education system, and it is in fact creating human resources basically of organized, trained, and motivated youth, and they provide leadership also in all walks of life, and they are always available for service of the nation. We have seen in various universities this is a norm, in fact, Personally, I think even this attempt is falling short. I mean, having NCCs in different universities, institutions, in order to, I mean, train the mind of the youth, to believe in ethics, to believe in discipline, even that is falling short because of the requirement of very successfully facing the huge challenges, a number of challenges, including, the security-related issues, which is posed by the hyper-urbanization that we are seeing also, and also considering, in fact, the global issue of human terrorism. That's again a huge issue. Now, what do you think that, sir? What do you advise us? I mean, being in university system, in education system, how to handle this kind of situation when, on one hand, youth is always striving, in fact, to get a job, once they are out of the university education system. While on the other hand, the security of a nation as big as India is, is always threatened from within and outside. So what more institutions should be doing in this regard?
Extremely relevant and very, very important issue that you have raised, sir. I'll say NCC, of course, you also said that it has done a good job to motivate these almost, but there is a limit. They can only do about 16 lakhs. NCC is there in all over India. That training can be enhanced, and for that, of course, the constraint is the manpower. I'm talking about trained manpower to train these students. But for that, I think veterans can play a very, very important role. They can go, they can address people. Some of them can be employed on a regular basis. That could be. But most important, sir, is the teaching about our parampara, our ethics. That is very, very important. Though I come from a very humble background, my grandmother used to talk a lot, my mother also, parents also. It was a different environment in the house, so one got it. And that's where we need to now see that the family system somehow or the other gets little encouraged. Children spend at least some time in a day with the family, as a family. All 4 or 5 of them sit together, mother, grandmother, parents, brothers, sisters, and talk on these issues. भारत के बारे में, हमारी परंपराओं के बारे में, हमारे पुराने लोगों के बारे में. That is definitely missing in our country today, and that needs to be encouraged, maybe through education. Initial 4-5 years education, 6 years. I still remember some stories which we were taught in, I think, class 3rd or 4th. Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar, that famous, when we got down from the train, he saw an old lady. She was suffering from cold and was really shivering. He took off his shawl and gave it to that. So that is just a story, but leaves an impression on you that you are supposed to help others. So these type of things, there is a need. Even our films and television programs can do. I think the 200 new channels that the government intends to in this budget may have this aim. This is the period of just about 10 to 15 years when the child is growing and the very impressionable age. These things stick to him and he follows throughout. So there is definitely a need, but it's a long journey. I do not see a very, because my firm opinion is that last, I'll say 1980 to about 2010 has been a period in our history where we were just going for money, trying to create wealth, and that period we did not utilize it for character building, अच्छे नागरिक बनने के लिए, अच्छे व्यक्ति बनने के लिए, and that is where the problem is. We have to create good नागरिक, चरित्र निर्माण, व्यक्ति निर्माण पे जोर देना पड़ेगा. That is what my view is. But it's a long journey. All of us, this type of gatherings, people, your faculty members and all, they can take on, even if, let's say, one odd village in a month or so, they can go talk to the children and all. It will definitely make a difference. I have no doubt, sir.
Right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, request you to kindly switch on your camera, sir.
Mine?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I can.
It is switched on already.
I think it is
It's
on.
not showing in my window.
No, it is showing. It is showing. It is showing.
Yes, sir. Now I can see, sir.
Okay, maybe so.
Thank you so much, sir.
Right, sir. Thanks.
General sir, I have a question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Captain Dhulia, Registrar, sir. First of all, sir, thank you very much for your such a enlightening lecture. My submission, sir, question to you with your long years of service and so much of experiences, and you so very rightly pointed out that during the time of independence, Auchinleck was commanding from England. And you know, sir, Auchinleck CNC, his status was number 2 after Viceroy, the army chief, the CNC. He was not even, I mean, he was commanding in chief, sir. He was not even chief of the staff. He was number 2, but where is our status, sir? Where is the status of the army chief now? What it was during the British time? And why this degradation has taken place? And are we correcting it?
Professor Himanshu, you do have a point, but I think I'll just narrate how what you are saying is absolutely correct. That we were the Teen Murti Bhavan used to be the chief's residence in Delhi. So that is the importance that the chiefs had that time. But they were that army was meant to, in fact, treat us as slaves, and they were ruling us. They were not part of democracy. When in democracy, I think the elected representation has the choice of the people, does have a little higher thing. We are number 12, though of course it could have been 5, 6, 7, which at some point of time in 70s it was. But I don't think that really the सम्मान that the Deshwasi give to a Fauji, the Sainik ko jo dete hain, that is what matters. And that has not, they give so much. I can just narrate to you that 71 war ke baad, we had 1st January, we had come to, we were in Shillong, and there my 2IC, then BS Nalwa, I was young, just about 4-5 months service when I was in that war. So he said, Vishnu, that's my first name. Vishnu, tere mother father ko bahut teri yaad aa rahi hogi, you must go on leave 7 days. So he gave me 7 days leave from Guwahati. I boarded the train. Barauni, we used to change from meter gauge to broad gauge and then come to Kanpur. I belong to a place, Fatehgarh, in UP, very small city. So throughout that journey, the way the people of भारत के देशवासियों ने जिस तरह से हमारा सम्मान किया, वो आज भी मुझे याद है. I can't forget, and that is more than any order of warrant of presidents or anything. So as long as this आदर और सम्मान फौज के लिए रहेगा, देशवासियों का, इससे बड़ी कोई चीज नहीं है. So that is what it is, and I think that is there, and especially उत्तराखंड में तो आप लोग तो रोजी आप जानते हैं कि कितने.
Yes, I agree with you, sir. And you have so rightly said that there is a love of the people and the respect of the people which we armed forces people have.
Yes,
is our chief motivator. But I'll give you one more example, sir, for your kind submissions, since you are in a very important place. I mean, I feel personally very sad, sir. I feel very sad that our army chief who is in the cabinet and is serving the 2nd term, is only Minister of State. Yes. Whereas a new bureaucrat, fresh from retirement, is made a cabinet
minister.
I feel very hurt. I feel very hurt. So what is your feeling on this?
As an individual, I also feel hurt. What you're saying is absolutely, I also feel that he should be the defense minister. But there are compulsions.
At least cabinet minister, sir.
At least the cabinet. I agree with you.
Serving the 2nd term, so I mean, so.
And he has come through. He has been elected by the people, twice. And this is the 2nd term. Yes, so in his case, I think.
So we get demotivated, sir. We all are exam. We get demotivated by this.
Yes.
Is this the respect?
There is no doubt about it, but
that's what. But
at the same time, you just also. Professor Dhulia, what you are saying is absolutely correct. I also feel bad.
Sir, I am not professor, sir. I am Captain Dhulia. I am a retired naval officer, sir.
Oh, sir.
Yes.
What a
I am a
pleasure,
retired
sir.
naval officer.
What a pleasure, sir. What a pleasure,
yes.
sir. Admiral Rana is there from Navy in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's a good friend of mine, sir. He's also in 2011, sir.
But you see, the way, though of course it was sad to lose General Bipin Rawat, but what the way the country gave samman to him, that also was something. He was also achieved. But you have a point that he is elected member of parliament twice, and
yes, sir.
His boss is a young man, but he's in politics for a longer period. That's all. That is.
Another small observation and just a point for your consideration is that you very rightly said that Netaji led the INA. But I must submit to you, sir, the INA was established by Captain Mohan Singh.
Captain Mohan Singh, yeah, I agree.
The first was IMA persons. And after, it was only the second phase of INA which Netaji took over so well.
Yeah.
And Mohan Singh was a Rajya Sabha member. He was also in the Punjab Legislative Assembly. And he was a co-mate of Gurbaksh Singh Dhillon, sir. Just sort of contributions.
Yeah, that what you are saying is
we must remember
correct.
Mohan Singh also. We must remember.
But when Netaji took over INA, that time it was on the wane. It was about to be disbanded or about to finish when Netaji restarted and rejuvenated it.
Yes,
that's
Gary Bowles called him, and so that was there. But Mohan Singh was also a very brave soldier. He established INA.
No doubt.
And he did not have good relationship with the Japanese, and his status was not of that Netaji. Netaji has a big status. He was
Netaji established a very good rapport both with Germans as well as Japanese. He established a great rapport. But the man, he had something in him that otherwise to motivate these 60,000 people
Indeed.
To give their everything for nothing. It is not easy. We all understand what motivation means.
Yes.
It was.
I mean, even if in that loss, there's a big victory, a morale for the entire generations to come.
Bilkul, very. Sir, at Moirang, this Indian National Army defeated the mighty British at Moirang in Manipur.
Arkan, yes.
One battle. They still we celebrate it on 14th April every year.
And sir, I have met some of the Subhashites in Calcutta. And they have a request which I must submit to you.
Yes, sir.
Their song is already the song of the army. Kadam se kadam badhaya ja,
kadam badhaya ja.
Song of the army. They have requested, they have always said that please name Indian Army as Indian National Army. That is the request. That please name Indian Army as Indian National Army.
Yeah. I agree. There is a point for consideration. I think there cannot be any problem. नहीं होनी चाहिए. अब National War Memorial तो है ही, राष्ट्रीय समर स्मारक कर दिया गया है, तो that is it is possible.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir. Any other student want to talk anything?
Well, you should.
Ma'am, kindly unmute yourself.
You should unmute yourself.
Madam, we are muted.
So one of the attendees has come up with a question, and the question is that how can we involve the community to promote national security and nation building?
This can only be done through awareness, through a little bit of NCC and NSS training. The Bharat Scout and Guide was also a good forum, which is in my school days, I have gone through it, but today I don't see it much. Those are the places where one can, and most important is our newspapers as well as our television and films. I don't see Manoj Kumar those famous movies today. They hardly are made. Though, of course, one on Uri was made. But that type of movies, war movies, if they are made, people will get to know, people will get encouraged. Basically, it is awareness. In heart, everybody is an Indian and he wants to do something for the nation. Only thing उसको जागरूकता की जरूरत है, उसको थोड़ा मनोबल ऊपर करने की जरूरत है. I can tell you that this Youth for Nation is one of the very good. Professor Murthy has started. He is a committed man, 81-year-old. He has mobilized so many army officers, IPS, IAS, some intellectuals, some professors, vice chancellors, and they are all doing it. And they are all doing because it gives them satisfaction. Nothing beyond that. They could have been relaxing at home, but they want to do it. It's for the nation. So such a organization, such a mobilization needs to be done. More Professor Murthis are required. And of course, more, I'll say, the people like your Vice Chancellor who have given us this opportunity to talk to the students. So it is both ways. So if we have this, I'm sure things will definitely move forward.
Well, sir, well, one more thing I would like to say to you is that आपसे आज वर्चुअल मोड में बात करने का मजा तो बहुत आया, और मैं समझता हूं कि इससे ज्यादा मजा हमें और आएगा यदि आप हमारी रिक्वेस्ट को एक्सेप्ट करें और कभी विजिट करें हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी में, where people have face-to-face interaction with you. I'm sure so many more will be motivated after hearing you.
Definitely, sir. Whenever these restrictions are removed, I would love to come there, and we'll come, sir.
Thank you.
It's a great honor for us to be with you all, and such a enlightened lot of students, and also the faculty members and the Vice Chancellor who is so much inquisitive. So one will love to
thank you so much.
Come, sir.
Thank you.
There is one more question, sir, from Anjali Thaplial, and the question is that there are some people who always criticize our country, disobey law, and encourage wrong things, but still prefer to live here. What can be done with such kind of people?
Of course, I'm sure Thaplial, my beti, must be having very, very noble intention, and she also must be feeling bad as we feel bad when we hear this. It's a long haul. It's not easy to get over this. There is an improvement. Already there is an improvement. There is a feeling amongst our Indians that we must talk together. We must, whenever, not on all issues, but whenever the question of national security, Rashtra ke samman ka, Rashtra ke hit ka baat ho, so we must be talking all together. Against China, we cannot be talking in two languages. Whatever the air chief, if he says something that we have done it at Balakot, it is a gospel truth. We have to accept it. And that is what should not happen. And it can only change when the almost these students who are listening, they ensure that you will not do it. Once or twice, their colleagues have to only let them down. Things wouldn't have happened what it happened in GEHU. If the colleagues would have said you dare not, उसी वक्त किसी ने उसको रोकना था कि तुम कैसे कह सकता है. That would have been the end of everything. उसके बाद ये slogan भी बंद हो जाते. Colleagues can do a lot. Of course, the guidance has to be from the top. And of course, at the national level, we should be talking for the nation. That is, these are all political parties, when it comes to the national interest, must talk in one voice. That's nothing.
So Ashok wants to ask that how to increase spirit of nationalism among youth in the age of materialism.
Yeah, it's a very pertinent question. Basically, it has to be from Vyakti Nirman and Charitra Nirman. Materialism, everybody wants to live well, everybody wants to acquire wealth. All those things are there. But simplicity is something that we need to teach them. We should not go extravagant. Basic minimum requirement we must have. We must earn for our families, for our sisters, brothers. That is okay. But beyond that, if you have something, give it to the society, give it to the nation, give it to the others. Establish a good school, establish a good hospital, do some seva. So that is for, I'm not saying that you should not earn. You must create wealth, but utilize it for somebody else, not on your own self. Service before self. That is the motto which must go down in each Indian.
Anybody else? Does anyone have a question? So I have a question. Like in the very beginning of the session, you said that everyone, contributes to national security and nation building, right? Be it an auto rickshaw wala or anybody else on this planet Earth. So talking about the youth of India, how can we, channelize their energy in the right direction? Because they, at times we see that they are very hyperactive on different social media platforms. So how can we do that, that we can, channelize their energy in the right direction, basically?
One is guidance, from the people. Second is awareness, what is right, what is wrong. By and large, everybody understands when he sees somebody doing a wrong thing, it's only that he wants to avoid, why should I get involved? That is where he has to get involved, and he must call a spade a spade. Agar tune galti ki hai, you should be ticked off. And once they start doing it, it is a chain reaction, then everybody will do, and it will not stop. It's the only starting a muhim. It's something like that, then it will become a karma. So that is where I expect that faculty, the teachers, the guru लोगों का बहुत बड़ा इसमें योगदान होगा कि वो बच्चों को ये सिखाएं कि क्या सही है, क्या गलत है. भारत देश के लिए, देश का जो प्यार है, देश के जो प्रेम है, ये कविताएं जो थोड़ी हमको तो हमने पढ़ी हैं. मैंने 60s में, 70s में, 60s I was in NDA in school. So that is the time when I have read these, most of them. रानी झांसी का वो अब खत्म हो गई और लोग अब नहीं पढ़ते, हम लोगों ने पढ़ी हैं. खूब लड़ी मर्दानी, वो तो झांसी वाली रानी थी. आला उदल की जो आला गाया जाता था वो खत्म हो गया. आला उदल वर द ब्रेव्स ऑफ बुंदेलखंड. पीपल मस्ट टॉक अबाउट देम. इसी तरह से जो भी उनके अच्छे परमवीर चक्र हैं, अशोक चक्र विनर्स हैं, गांव में, शहरों में, उनके नाम पर उनके कुछ स्कूलों का नाम रखा जाए, स्टेडियम का नाम रखा जाए, उनके बारे में बताना बहुत जरूरी है. और जो सम्मान उनको मिलता है उससे लोग मोटिवेट होते हैं. Once you start giving respect to these people, those braves, those who have sacrificed everything, the others get motivated to do the same.
So thank you so very much, sir, for answering the questions in a very elaborative manner. Now I would like to welcome Mr. Jasmeet Kalra, Head of Department, Mechanical Engineering, Graphic Era Hill University, Dehradun, to offer vote of thanks to our keynote speaker, Lieutenant General VK Chaturvedi, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful lecture on youth and national security. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Lieutenant General VK Chaturvedi, sir, for enlightening us on the role and contribution of youth in national security and nation building, and how the national security challenges have changed over a period of time. Sir, you gave us some great examples on how each individual can play an important role in national security. Thank you, sir, and looking forward to have more such inspirational and motivational lectures of yours in coming future. And we would like to see you in our university, in our campus, and interacting with our students in the offline mode and giving the same motivation to our students once again. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I would also like to thank. I would also like to thank all the dignitaries, faculties, and the students present for this lecture. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Professor Jasmeet. And thanks a lot, Jatinder Singh ji, our Honorable Vice Chancellor. And thanks everybody, the faculty member, Captain Dhulia, and my children and the students of Graphic Era Hill University. It has Been a great pleasure to be with you and talking about a subject which is very dear to every Indian. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Jai
Good day, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks a lot.
So this brings us to an end of the session. Thank you so much, sir, once again for sparing your valuable time and gracing the occasion. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.